Cancer.
Hello Cancer, this is your forecast for September 2016, and we have a little extra action going on this month. Now we have a solar eclipse, we have a lunar eclipse, and we have a second new moon. So a lot of action going on with the moon. The first one here is the solar eclipse on the 1st. This is appearing here in your 3rd house for communication and short distance travel, interaction with siblings, neighbors, anything of written or, should I say, verbal communication is going to be super important. Now that solar eclipse, it's also the new moon here, it's taking place in the sign of Virgo, 9 degrees Virgo. So any planets you have in your chart around 9 degrees will be super infused with this solar eclipse. Now solar eclipses bring a lot of new beginnings, and it will just launch us forward in leaps and bounds, open up and speed up our experiences. And that's what the solar eclipses are all about. The lunar eclipse there on the 16th, which is taking place in Pisces at 24 degrees, will be in your 9th house. Now lunar eclipses is all about finality, endings, and so forth. So perhaps something you've worked for will come to finality at that time, or you can also just see something being shut down, closing the door, but also for a higher reason. Now this being in your 9th house has to do with higher education, long distance travel, any kind of interaction with people in faraway places, but it also rules the law, say immigration, green cards, so forth, or if you have any suits going on, you can come to see that being concluded here this month. And so when something ends, something opens and begins, right? And then we have a second new moon this month. Doesn't happen all that often, but it is taking place here on the 30th. And this new moon will be in your 4th house for family, foundation, all of those things that are important related to parents, real estate, and so forth. And that will take place there 8 degrees in Libra. So the new moons are always where we place our intentions. So the first one there at August 1st is all about communication, travel. Put down your intentions there, and then here at the end of the month, which will be in Libra, family, that is where you want to place your intentions for it. So we can see we got a lot going on, new beginnings. So there's a surge of energy that's going to lift your spirits, open your consciousness. So be ready to take that leap, right? We also have Venus here this month in the sign of Libra, and it rules Libra. So this is allowing us to emotionally now attach to those feelings of balance and harmony. So you'll be adjusting up those inner romantic feelings as well to see how you and your partner are doing. For those of you single, you might be feeling that need to balance out your life, but this Venus is in the 4th house also this month for family, and also where and how you live. Now when Venus comes into your home this way, you might just find yourself picking up new paint to put on the walls, redecorate, or move your furniture into new patterns. And why? Because it opens up new energy. It's the feng shui of the family, home, and foundation. So that should brighten your day very much so here, Cancer, especially because you are such a homebody, right? And when we move on to Mars, what is Mars doing? And Mars being your dynamic energy, right? It is what really pulls your motors forward. And I can see how you now, as it's moved out of Scorpio, where it's been for a long time, it is really cruising through Sagittarius. And it's harmonious here because Mars being fire, Sagittarius a fire sign. I see that your energy is picking up. And right now it's focusing on how you can actually organize your life, structure it in a way where you can become more efficient, on your day-to-day routine. You might be looking over your schedules and seeing how you could streamline things better, not just for now or this month, but it's really setting that new biannual, should I say, foundation. Mars will go through this area once every 2 years, so it's going to be another 2 years before you're allowed to get that extra boost to focus on this specific window of your life. We're also seeing that we're enthusiastic, we're optimistic, that is the energy coming there from Sagittarius. And so when Mars is there, it feels it can conquer anything. So it's great. And many of you here, Cancerians, came to some insight, understanding, conclusion, or agreement there in August, specifically around the 24th, when the two conjuncted, Mars and Saturn, as if you made some kind of a negotiation agreement with yourself to implement. And that might just be now what you're going to be working on here in September. We have Jupiter, doing the big thing this month. It is changing signs. Now, it has been in Virgo for over a year, and that has been expanding your horizons in your communication, how you've communicated. For those of you who love to write, you might have felt there's been an ongoing stream of inspiration here in this area, and you've grown a lot. But now Jupiter is moving into your family foundation area of your chart. So some of you, yes, might get the itch to want to move or change things up at your home. You have a full year to do this until late summer of 2017, but Jupiter expands the area in which it arrives. So there could be expansion to family, maybe more children, could be more grandchildren coming in, and more interaction with your family by all means. But the fourth house is also your inner sense of foundation, who you are on the inside. So that tells me that Jupiter is going to give you that much more feeling of being jovial and expressive and generous and so forth. You might be opening up your home to have more guests in this coming year and so forth. And you might also, if you move, you might find yourself relocating to a distance, since Jupiter loves places far away, right? So we have a lot going on just with those shifts. Now, in the time that we are opening up, just top of the month, you might find yourself up against a decision, a major decision, and you might be a little insecure about it. The Sun is squaring off on Saturn. Saturn's giving you or telling you that this is something quite important, okay? So you're feeling that tug. But Neptune is also being opposed to the Sun being you, and that can create a little bit of a gray zone. So if you're not quite sure, just hang in there. I feel just within the following days, there should be an epiphany where you're going to see very clearly the direction that you want to take, and that's what you want to have, is that feeling of confidence and conviction, because when you do, that's when you can cut to the core. It's like a hot knife in butter. You just land exactly where you need to be, and I see you feeling really settled and happy about this. Now, there is something here relating also to your partner and how your partner is thinking about this decision. That's going to be super important because it's between the two of you. I feel that these things now will be balancing out, and has to do, again, with family, day-to-day routine, relationships. This is where it's going on for you. And probably about real estate, right? And if you want to move, where you want to move. And I'm not saying that that move needs to take place right now, by all means. It could for a few of you. But you have a whole year to plan this out and have it done. But the initiation is good. I see a lot of communication this month, which is sparking off all of these ideas. I feel that you could come to get some really, really good insight on the second when Mercury delivers news to you from Jupiter, which I feel whatever deal it is a great deal. On the 10th and 11th, whatever conviction that you did arrive at, you might find yourself, again, not as much as in doubt, but more so now being tested. It's more like the universe is saying, so, are you good with that choice? Right? So it's like we get that second opportunity to really look it over and feel it for the long term, because whatever these decisions are, it has longevity. And so for you, I feel, go with your heart, not as much your mind. You can always ask your mind a question, and your mind will give you 1,000 different answers, right? And that's where we can trip ourselves up, get a little confused, because which one do we follow? However, if you ask important questions to your heart has a different consciousness and will always answer you with two answers, either a yes or no, good or bad, and so you will know and find your way to navigate that much easier when always consulting the heart. We have on the 12th direction, kicking into action. Now that you know where you're going, Mars will be looking at things now that you're going to be doing research, looking into, taking action. Mars is really super powered here to do that kind of research. And I feel whoever you're going to be discussing with, it could be brokers, it could be anybody of service nature that can give you more insight as to what it is you're building or trying to expand upon. They will be very helpful around the 12th, give or take a day or two on either side. And this allows you to move forward because, as we have on the 17th, things are not just going to come together, they're going to align and fall into place. Now, Mars, I see the action that you're having is also now coupling in with, in a beautiful radiant beam, to your career house. So you can see it's all about family, structure, and now career later in that third part, last part of the month. And so not only news, it could be a new opportunity. Now for those of you who are thinking about moving, you might have some interaction here now with a new company. But for those of you still within your company, it's still a great day. Pay attention to what takes place. You might be chosen to do a certain task, which you should take as an honor. It's because they see you as the one capable of bringing this to fruition. And this is just putting not just a big smile on your face, but your sense of self and self-worth is really at a boost here on the 19th, moving into the 20th. And this boost is a rise of consciousness, rise of action. There's a sense of passion in everything that you do, think, or touch. Now, this could be a mental passion, it could be an emotional passion, it could be a physical passion, because it's touched on all these levels here for you as you communicate, as you act, as you cut through. So, and think about the eclipses too this month. On top of this, think about now Jupiter moving, changing signs this month. All of these are here to bump you forward. And of course, we also then have the ingress of Venus on the 24th, which is moving out of your home and family-based area into the 5th house of joy, self-expression, romance, also spending time with your children, for the businesses that you own. And when Venus is in this area, the 5th house, which is ruled by Leo, it's all about fun and leisure. So you can see from the 24th, Venus is going to pick up. It's really going to love where it's moving into, and it's in the sign of Scorpio. So again, we're seeing the depth of emotion, the passionate nature of Scorpio coming in, really wanting to have fun. Look forward to that last week there of September, Cancer. I know you will love it. So that is pretty much a run through of what we have in September, but before I close off this, listen, don't forget Mercury retrograde. Turned retrograde there August 31st and will be retrograde until excuse me, September 23rd. So the first 3 weeks plus, you don't want to sign anything if you don't absolutely have to. It's really okay to go and check things out. Do whatever needs to be done with research, but then wait for any signing, if you can, till you get into October, or at least after September 23rd. So listen, have a great month there, Cancer. I love reading for you, and I will see you next month. Bye now.